a Tulsa, Oklahoma news anchor had a very scary thing happen to her live on air. She began to show symptoms of a stroke during the Saturday morning newscast. So a warning to our viewers, some of you may find this video disturbing. Take a look.
The Tulsa Air and Space Museum is hosting a launch today at the I'm sorry, something is going on with me this morning, and I apologize to everybody. Let's just go ahead and send it on over to meteorologist Annie Brown.
Wow, what a pro. The anchor named Julie Chin posted an update saying that she's okay. She says she suffered the beginnings of a stroke, but not a full stroke. She also shared that she had other symptoms, including losing partial vision in one eye and that her hand and arm had gone numb. Okay, first let's react to the video. Erica, you know, we're on live TV. Look how she handled that. How scary, but wow.
Yeah, I mean, to be in one of the most vulnerable positions and have that happen, it is miraculous that she was able to send it over at all. But, you know, gosh, like we say here all the time, like some things have happened. We've been doing this show for over 5 years, and things have happened where we're like, it's not in our control, you know? So just having people that you can trust around you. I mean, I understand that numerous people called 911, so that was a great thing to get in on it early. So
some of the viewers also noticed the signs, and I guess we're trying to alert people within that studio that she was potentially having a stroke. What would you have done?
You know, I actually, one of my aunties, she's now passed on, but my aunt Elnora, she had a stroke kind of in real time with my aunt that had taken her to the emergency room. They said, "You're fine," sent her home, and she just like, that old school instinct was just like, no. And she said they were in the car, she was like thinking about making a U-turn, and then she started kind of, you know, saying things that didn't make sense, and she didn't leave because her instincts. And I think this is two things that we can always rely on. One is knowing, you know, the signs and being educated, but also like trusting your gut. I always tell my kids, especially my daughter, you know, she's getting older and she's going to be in situations. I say nobody on this planet has ever said I shouldn't have listened to my gut. That's, if something feels weird, even if it looks like, why am I leaving? Everything's fine. If something feels weird, if somebody's acting weird, if I'm like, Jeff seems off, I don't care if you got an issue, we're gonna go down, and if everything's fine at the hospital, egg on my face. But I like that everybody called, watching and in the studio, and she's here today, so shout out to them.
Yeah, not egg on your face either. I know you're in a vulnerable situation, like you said, but it's not about that. It's about your health at that moment.
And speaking of the signs, earlier we had our Dr. Kohli comment on those signs. So let's take a look.
So FAST is the acronym that I want everybody to burn into their brains, because this could be life-saving for yourself or for somebody else. So F stands for facial drooping, facial numbness. So if you see one side of the face kind of sliding downwards, their eye drooping, it could be their chin, it could be the tongue deviating to one side, that's a sign of a stroke. A stands for arm weakness, and this could also be leg weakness, but also numbness, as we heard. S is for speech difficulty, so either trouble making speech or trouble understanding speech. And then T, the most important one, time. Call 911 right away. If it's a false alarm, that's better than missing something that could be a stroke.
Wow.
Yeah, I think obviously, this is really great information. We talked about it a little bit more in depth because I was explaining that when I had a severe panic attack, I displayed all of those symptoms. But also, being an African-American woman, we're twice as likely to have a stroke. So, and the number one culprit is high blood pressure. So knowing what your levels and your labs and all of those things are so crucial. And we have a family friend who actually had a stroke this weekend, and and she's a young woman, you know. So just being aware that some of us are more susceptible, that we stay ahead of it.
It could save your life. Yeah. Absolutely. I hope she's okay, Erica.